So today we're going to do another product deep dive on Workato Insights. That's coming very, very soon. So my name is Andre. I'm on product team at Workato. Currently based in Barcelona, Spain. And in Spain, actually, this time, like 2 p.m. is siesta time, right? So I'm happy I'm not doing this in Spain, but hopefully you got some coffee. And because this stuff is exciting, hopefully you'll see. So, you know, I really like how the sky looks in the night, but the stars are not going anywhere, right, on the daylight. But we just can't see them because of all the light of the sun. I think it's a very good metaphor for what you guys are actually doing for all the automations, right, and integration. So there's a lot of stuff happening on the back end of the organization, the back office, right? But it's not seen, right? You connect system A to system B with Workato. It saves company a lot of money, a lot of time, but it's unseen. So how do we actually make it visible, right? So we'll talk about it today, how our approach to actually help you make it visible for the rest of your companies. So it's all really about value, right? So we know there's tons of different studies that automation, integration, iPaaS, all those technologies, they have high returns. So this is from some Forrester study on Workato recently. This is Workato's ROI as reported by our customers. But I guess it took them quite some time and effort to actually calculate it without insights, right? So how to measure this, right? Especially given it's all of this value thing, it's very unique to a company, right? So each company, I guess, counts those things differently. So in order to understand, right, and to see the value and ultimately improve the value, right, you cannot improve what you don't measure. But ultimately, to do all of that, you need to analyze, right? So basically, it's all about data. And the data is all there, right? You have all the data. It's in your business systems of record, everywhere, right? But it's everywhere now and nowhere at the same time, actually, because you say you have order to cash process, right? It touches 5 different systems, SAP, NetSuite, whatever. But how do you actually, and there's some processes apparently with Workato that automate it maybe, right? But where is this single place, right? So where you can see the full picture of the process. So for many years, the answer is basically BI tool, right? BI tool is your place, right? Where you can go find all the information. But in order for BI tool to actually get it, right? It has to get to the data warehouse first, right? So effectively, the data is, by default, it's siloed, right, across all those systems of record. And you have to actually have those expensive BI practice and ETL practice, and then BI practice to actually bring it all together. And this modern BI tools are very, very powerful. The problem is that what we find is with a lot of our customers, the BI team is sitting in the same building but on different floor, right? So it kind of gets time to put some stuff in their backlog to have them build some kind of dashboard. At the same time, right, Workato is basically a set of pipes which your data flows through, right? So the data is transitioned already right through because processed by the jobs performed on Workato platform. So why not actually take advantage of the data, right? So and I think these 2 things like automation and analytics, they are basically synergetic, right? So they help each other. Analytics makes automation intelligent. automation makes analytics actionable. So how do we do all of this? So first of all, let's kind of break down the problem a little bit. So what do we want to do? So we think there are 4 types of automation analytics. This is kind of framework in which we think. And it varies from like generic to very specific, and from basically lower level, higher level. So execution analytics is all about basically your jobs and tasks and errors and whatever. So we have some dashboard in Workato for that. We hear you one more. So there is like on generic side, there's like ROI, right? So ROI, you may be like reporting on certain process, but ultimately, I guess, C-level, higher ups want to see like savings across different projects, automation projects, maybe across departments even. So we also have the people and process analytics. So say you have, you can have an app, which we talked about earlier today, or you can just have a human-less process that's fully automated. But how do you actually make sense out of it, right? Things like, how many task orders have been processed, average processing time, all those kinds of things. And that's strategic. This is what's traditionally, and I think it will be solved primarily by BI. It's like getting all of it, making sense of the whole thing across the organization, applying to the highest goals, strategic goals of the company. So we've been thinking about how to address the need to report on those different types of automation analytics, and we came up with Workato Insights. So what is Insights? So basically, it's a way for you to create configurable dashboards in Workato on different data sources for different use cases. So these are the 3 we kind of have in mind in the beginning. There are more. We're building, Insights is a platform, right? So we will eventually support more use cases and more data sources. So ROI, right? So basically measure dollars saved, hours saved, those kinds of things. App analytics, right? We talked about app today, but so you now suddenly have a workflow automated. But how efficient is that? How many orders were processed or requests were processed? What's the average processing time? Like to earlier example today, what's the average score customers gave us? Those kinds of things. And process reporting is somewhat similar, but it's for automated process, right? So say I have a recipe that copies the data from Jira from Zendesk to Jira. Okay, so creates tickets in Jira based on Zendesk issues. So that's good. You have it. You can see how many times it ran. But what about business metrics, right? So how many tickets were processed touchlessly per region, per department? All those questions that you may have. So what we came up with is the platform, right? Workato Insights platform. So it's a platform for you to access data in different sources, to transform it in many ways, as you wish, and then visualize it. So we have different data sources that we support. These are the 3 that are kind of in this first version, let's say. So one is job custom columns. Basically, we have jobs running. You can customize the reports to add more custom columns to capture important information. For example, we have order to cash, but you can capture region of the order, for example, those kinds of things, and then report on it. Workflow apps, or you talked about requests per type, per assignee, per stage. Table storage, it's basically a general purpose storage, right? So you can have pretty much any data there. You can use it to bring in information from third party. I need to be cautious here because we're not data warehouse, right? And we're not planning to be. So it's really not for you to kind of bring all the data in, right? But in case you have certain data, like auxiliary data, to help you with the automations or visualize the process, you can bring that in. So the data is transformed in different ways, right? There's transformation layer behind the scenes. And then it is visualized primarily in form of different kinds of charts. So let me show you, right? So I'm going to show a couple of dashboards and actually also build some, right? So first of all, I'll make it bigger. So first, I want to show the kind of the finished thing, right? So I'm going back to this business portal that we've been seeing. So this is business portal from our company Zinc, and they've built out automation dashboards for their stakeholders. So stakeholders can come here at any point of time, log in using their single sign-on, and see the data. So this is the ROI dashboard. So it has information like money saved, hours saved, by department, by project. Can you see it well? Maybe I can make it a little bigger. By time, right? Just all the data, all the raw data to Grok. So this is a sample dashboard they've built, and it's all custom. Okay, so I'm going to let me. This is the finished product, right? But let me jump back to Workato, and let's see what it actually looks like behind the scenes. So I'm going to this automation dashboards project. So this is my dashboard. So it is built basically using drag and drop editor, okay, for the dashboard. So it's pretty much the same I've been showing earlier today on the apps session if you attended it, but you see it has kind of less elements right now. But you can put like decorations, images, text, and so on. But most importantly, of course, you can put different charts. So these are those charts we've just seen, different types of charts. And you may ask, like, what is it? How does it work? Okay, so there are different approaches, right? And I'll talk about this approach, how this ROI dashboard is built. So basically, what powers this dashboard is the data table. So we have the data. The way this dashboard is built is there's a data table that stores the data. It's not. It should be here. About basically all the savings. Okay, so every process that, say you have order to cash automated with 5 different recipes. So at some point of time in some branch of some recipe, you may decide that, okay, actually right now business result has been achieved. Right, so at this point, the recipe just writes the data to this data table. Basically, I saved whatever, $100 and 2 hours. Okay, and it has different like other things where you may want to report on, like departments, processes, and so on. So now each of these is basically, I'll go to edit mode. Each of these is basically powered on, for example, on this table, right? So very simple example, right? So this one just uses this table and just summarizes all of it. I'll show how to build it, all of this in a second. All of the others slice and dice the same data, right? So basically using the the Insights query engine, we slice and dice this data to result in all of these charts. And you can build yours, right? So this is, I think we'll build some accelerator out of it eventually, right? But this is kind of DIY, do your own, do it yourself, sorry, ROI type of thing, right? So it's not that we have somehow magically calculated that you saved this, right? We actually let you decide what you saved and when, right? Because what we found is like there's no single one-size-fits-all, one rule how everyone calculates their business metrics. So with this, I can, this was all custom built, but I can actually enhance this a little bit, right? So let me just bring the new chart here, and I'll just clicking on it, get into this widget editor. So the first thing here is, I need to pick up the, I'm picking the primary data source that I'm going to use. So we support few, right? So we support some data about like usage data here. We have workflow apps. I'll show that in a sec. We have basically all the data tables, but also all the recipes are here, right? So these are all of my different recipes. So maybe along with some ROI stuff, I want to show some business metrics about maybe my important process order to cash, okay? So I'm picking this recipe from the list, and what is here is basically the, it's a jobs table pretty much, right? So jobs that were run for this particular recipe when they were completed and so on, right? So very technical information. But there is also a custom column called region defined on this job, okay? So this order to cash processing captures the region, right? So in Insights, now I can use that to visualize the process. So the way I do is I can just summarize and then say count of rows by region, okay? So I have a table, says that many here and there, and then it's just pretty much one click to visualize, right? So maybe it's a pie chart, so, and I name it like orders by region, okay? So this is the way I build it in a matter of seconds. So just a couple words about the UI, right? So we have three sections in the UI, right? So this is the data query, right? It almost looks like kind of proto recipe, but it's of course not. You can think about it as kind of visual SQL basically behind the scenes, but you can use all of these filters, summarization, row limits, joins, I'll show all of that, to slice and dice the data in different ways, right? So you basically prepare your data, right? And this is the preview of the raw data. And then it's just one click to visualize. And you can, of course, customize it further. So it's kind of, we're inspired by Excel in a sense, right? In Excel, you just for decades, the way you work is you have the sheet, you have your data ready, and then it's kind of one click to visualize, right? So, and then just save it to the page and done, right? That's all. So let me have like 10 more minutes. So let me build something from also kind of from scratch. So this was ROI. I also showed some kind of process-related metrics, but let me show you another use case, right? Which is app. So we've been building an app earlier today on another session, right? So this is my survey processing app that was built. So the way I can build a dashboard and put it in an app, I can just create a new tab, right? So we now have tabs and apps, and this will be my app dashboard. Okay. And then I can assign existing page to this one or create a new one. So I create a new one. It's my dashboard. And I pick the, well, it's like, what is it? It's survey app dashboard. And then I pick dashboard here as a kind of template. And I get into this editor, right? So there are some basic placeholders pre-generated for me. Down the road, we'll have more templates for sure. So what can we do with this, right? So app has requests, right? So let's see. First, let's do something very simple, right? So in the data source, I will select the survey processing app. And then, well, first of all, I can just have a count of rows, right? But put it all as a just a single number, okay? So that will be my basically total requests or total total service received. Okay. I can do all other functions. So just selecting the same thing here, survey processing. I can say do average of score, right? So this is actually my my average score that I have received from my customers on those surveys, right? Back here. What's next? So we can just look at the data itself in the dashboard. So I can just what I can do is basically, so I have, say, all requests, but I may just sort them by, well, say date when they were received, sending, right? And yeah, I can just say it's latest surveys. Maybe I also want to actually limit it to, say, 10, 5 maybe. Rows. So these are my latest surveys. I can actually just customize this a little bit. So you may want to see email, what they sent, score for sure, date, other stuff. Yeah, maybe not so needed, right? So I'll just disable it all, right? So we have the row table on the page. What's next? So let's build something slightly more visual. So we have a bunch of requests, right? But they're in, this is a workflow. So there it has different stages. Reviews, already sent, something went wrong, all those kinds of things. So we can just have this same survey processing and then summarize by something, right? So we can summarize count of rows by stage, current stage. And then that's going to be, say, a pie chart. Right? So this is my basically by stage. Right, very easily. And then maybe the final one I'm going to do here is joins, right? So the insights allow you to join different data in the same, much like you would do in Excel or BI or something like that. So it can, we support different data sources, and you can join the data between any data source joined with any, right? So with this one, again, I'm in my app, right? So I'm going to say, yeah, before I summarize, actually, right, I want to join, right? So it happens that I have in this data, I have like, where is it? It's like product ID somewhere, right? So basically, this is just ID of the product that was sent to me, but the actual products are stored in a different table, right? So it's like in a dictionary table. So I just can say that product join to that product ID equals ID, okay? So joins happened. You can see that I have some data from the products table now, and I can use it to summarize, right? Or in this case, so we just summarize count by I think I can just call it name, by product name, and then one click bar chart. So very, very easy, right? You have just created all these dashboards in like 5 minutes. You can do a few other things like line charts and so on. So just save it, right? I'm back to this. I think I need to select here. App dashboard. And then going back to my app, here, it's available here at the tab, right? So I can just click, right? And all dashboard that I have just created is here. So basically this way you can and again, in minutes, you create dashboards for apps, you create dashboards for ROIs, you can create dashboards for automated processes, and more to come. So let's just talk about the roadmap a little bit. So, we're planning the limited release in the next month of this, right? You can see it's in a good shape, it seems like, working. So coming soon, it will be limited release, basically meaning that please ask your system for your access, but it's fully functional, tested, basically production ready. GA release, we plan to add some more stuff, right, and release later this year. So a few things that we plan to work on, right? So formulas and data pills, right? So again, similar to how we kind of do the pages for apps, we want to keep reusing the same experience over and over again so that it's easier for you to build different assets for your automation and for your integration. So data pills, things like, select something for current user, filter by current user, for example, or maybe some if put on app page, have it connected to like other, buttons on the page and so on. Formulas, obviously, like arithmetic operations, window, all those kinds of cumulative, all those things. Then dashboard filters, right? So with the dashboard, it's very common that you want to see the data, but you want to give your business users ability to slice and dice it, right? So the way easily, right? So it's already easy in this Workato Studio, right? But you want to give this to your business users. So this is typical down through dashboard filters, right? So we'll have this component as well that filters all of the widgets at the same time. More visualization options. So this is just one of them, but basically we have few in mind. Stacking is one very common example of displaying the data. And then AI, right? So we had I won't stop here for a long time because we've already had few AI-related sessions on this conference, right? But we think AI can improve the business experience, well, transform the business, the building experience and the end user experience. So naturally, it will come to insights as well in many ways. One of them being basically Copilot, which means you can just ask in human language, right? And later, we'll bring that capability to the business users as well for them to ask in human language. So that's basically about it. So on this, I just want to maybe summarize and open for questions. So Insights gives you access to real-time data without ETL to put something in your warehouse and then creating a ticket to your BI team and waiting until they do it, right? So the data, given that the data is already there, and it's often is for the automated processes, you can just use it right away with very easy build experience. So thank you.